So I'm testing out a small painting camera setup. Probably doesn't get much smaller than this. So we've had a bit of a drought recently, but the few days of rain we did have, the roses have perked up. I will do a painting a little bit closer up at some point, more detailed. Perhaps I'll work from a photo first, but quite fancied having a go at doing an outdoor painting. So this is on a little box, a little pochade box. I made quite a few of these a few years ago, and the idea is that you would actually paint on this surface here, and then I sold them as the palette and the painting as one, so you could close it. I'll show you on another one I've got upstairs, so I should do some more of that. I think they would be perhaps nice little additions to the collections that I've been selling. So there's that rose bush there. Hopefully we're filming in 4K, so I'm hoping we can see what's going on when I zoom in. It's just an experiment really. There we go, much cooler over here onto the lavender. The lavender does well in the dry. I'm no green fingers, but I know that. That'll finish at the end of the painting there nicely. And we've got another plant over this side. I don't know what that is. Again, it's fairly cool green. So the subject's in the sunlight, and I'm in the shade. Block in the canvas like normal, and then add some detail, but just as much as it's needed. That's the road behind. We live in a very quiet part of France. I'm not sure if a car's been by yet. We'll see how many cars we get. Let's have a go at some of these rocks. I think the previous owner apparently was a stonemason. There were piles and piles of rocks everywhere around the house. Worst things to have around, because we've managed to build quite a few things with them. Just wait till we add the roses and the lavender. Bit of mixing on the palette, or on the canvas panel, whatever it is. And then we've got that cool bluey green up in the trees there. Again, I don't need any detail there. Let's switch brush. I've got this ivory dagger here, 1/4 inch, this one. So let's have a go at mixing that yellow. They are like a lemon yellow. You can actually sort of hold your brush up to whatever you're painting, close one eye and squint, you can get an idea whether that's about right or not. Obviously, because I'm sat in the shade and my subject's in the sunlight, inevitably we are going to be receiving different light, but it's close. So that's the level of detail for these roses. So I suppose I'm looking for an enjoyable few hours, well, probably less than an hour, out painting rather than coming back with a masterpiece. roses there grouped together. So the dagger brush works well to give me random marks. Don't need to paint them all. As long as it looks balanced. There's one in the shade in there. A little bit of shadow on the underside. Some of those. And there's just a little bit of orange right in the centre. And some of those. And there's still a few roses that are a little bit frazzled. So maybe I need to suggest one or two leaves with a bit of detail. So I hope that recording does work okay for this, because what happens otherwise is I've sat here painting for half an hour talking to myself for no reason. So just one or two flowers, petals, if I put them in those dark areas, they'll stand out a little bit more. Then we go at some of those rocks. So what can I say? I can see there's a little gap between the rocks there, which is casting a shadow off there. There's a rock there that turns away. The shadow. Rock there. That's fine, let's move on. I think I'll leave the posts out. I think we don't need those. There is some other flowers there with those little tiny pink bits on. It's a technical term, pink bits. Back to the cool green. That's probably another good brush to have in your arsenal, a dagger brush. And we've got some of those rose petals that have fallen to the ground. A little bit of interest. And there's another rose, but we can't really see it probably really, but I can put it in there. So the lavender, that probably should just be that violet and white, I think. So instead of obviously trying to paint every individual flower, it is just an impression, remember that. We could push the darks around the flowers maybe. And if we put a strong dark around that flower. And by painting that background into some of those shapes, we'll get some soft and hard edges. bit of light hitting that rock there. And it can turn into an exercise of trying to render rocks. These little dashes of blue about look good. So another go with a clean brush with those roses off in the distance there. See, sometimes a bigger brush can be better, holds more paint. And there's actually some white flowers or something just there, there we go. I think that'll do before I start fiddling about with it too much. So let's pull the painting into the sunlight. Look at the flowers. So they're not in good shape, the roses, but that's the heat wave. The lavender. Insects love that one. It smells nice as well, obviously. Delicious. So there we go.